Okay, so here's our green room video for episode number 18.
18.
We just got wrapped up. It was a really good episode.
This couch feels so much more roomy today.
Yeah,
Notice
yeah.
what's missing? Someone's ego isn't here.
Now with this episode, for those of you who made the live show, you'll know that we had to reschedule from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. And we literally made that decision last night.
And not just last night, 3 in the morning or so.
Yeah,
So
3
that's
a.m.
today.
Yeah.
That was me today.
So that was a bit last minute. I didn't get a chance to say it on the show, but I'll say it now and I'll say it to you guys. But I apologize. That's all on me. That was my responsibility. I should have seen this coming sooner. And I failed. It was a scheduling failure on my part, and so I'm gonna do better to not let that happen in the future, both for you guys and for you guys. And so yeah, I hope that we didn't interrupt too many Father's Day celebrations that were going on today. But I think overall we were very satisfied with the quality of the show. At least I was. I was
Yeah.
really satisfied with how the discussion came out.
How cool was it that even despite that, we were able to get all 5 hosts, which we were expecting to be down Nika.
Yeah. Well, at first we were expecting to be down Juxta and Kahlo,
Yeah.
so
Right,
it would have been Aniro, Escalia, and Nika, and
The problem there being Nika has been sick and hasn't played a whole lot.
Right.
You've been doing Dark Knight.
Right.
And I'm behind. I've been doing story, but I'm behind.
so,
Juxta.
and he would right,
I'm
and
only 53.
Escalia would have been the one
The most
with
experienced.
the most progression
Right.
through Heavensward
And
at
that's
that
just
point.
not good news.
No offense.
Yeah, that's just not
no
good news.
offense, but I mean, like you're no 57.
Yeah,
Come
I'm-
on, bro. Come on.
So that was among one of the decisions that led to us rescheduling, and then we thought that Nika might not be able to join us, and she was able to join us for the vast majority of the show, only ducking out for the last 30 minutes. So very happy that she was able to come on, and I really feel bad for screwing this one up. That's all on me. So if you guys are looking to blame someone, it's this guy.
Dude, I thought it was a good episode.
It was a good episode.
No, it went really well.
In the end, for all of the headache that we went through to make sure that everyone was here, I thought the discussion went very well. Heavensward. I mean, we're on to day 4 of early access, and then on Tuesday is the actual release day proper.
Yeah.
One of the things that we didn't get to talk about is outside of Balmung how remarkably stable the early access
Who called
period.
that?
Yeah, you did.
Who called
You
it?
did.
What was the person's name?
Or is it
What was
outside
the
of
first
the 8th or data center? It's
Out,
remarkable.
right outside of Balmung.
Unfortunately,
Yeah, it's
Balmung
only
and Sargatanas
Balmung.
are on the same. Really? It's
Yeah,
just
I've
Balmung?
only heard Belmont.
Yeah.
Like other people.
I
like
dropped
other
40
cities.
minutes trying to get in last night.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I've also had my periods.
A little bit of trouble, but
Yeah,
nothing
not
like
a ton.
that.
But for the most part, yeah, that's
Not like
the-
Balmung.
You
I mean,
put the 2 most populated servers on the same data center, and that
What
can
did
happen.
Excalibur on?
I don't know.
Primal?
Is it on Brand?
I don't know. Don't know.
Anyway.
You're asking the wrong guy.
But Juxta called it. Juxta's right once again. Juxta has been right quite often, and Aniro's been having to eat his words quite often.
Well, I'm just really impressed that like in a game that has only been climbing in population since it came out, that its first major expansion has very little server issues. That is a remarkable feat.
Do you think the fact that there was an early access feature and that it is people who pre-ordered, do you think that has anything to do with it?
No, and I'll tell you why. Because who didn't pre-order it? I mean, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Who looks at early access and says, "No, I'll wait the 5
Oh,
days."
wait the 5 days.
Not many people, and because there's such a low ceiling for entry, there's such a low barrier for entry. All you have to do is put $5 down and pre-order it. That's it.
Yeah, well, even then, not even that. All I did was say, hey, I want to buy this game through the Square Enix website, and they didn't bill me a thing until literally when early access came out.
And straight the opposite, like I pre-ordered mine as the maintenance was going down to make it
Yeah.
all go live. I pre-ordered mine, had it installed and ready to go. It was-
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's true. It was easy.
Yeah,
at this point, it's like more like pre-order.
The hardest
Early
part
access.
was actually getting the site to take your stupid code.
Yeah.
Took like 20 tries.
Well, like really, I think the thing there is that it provides Square Enix with a test to a period of time to test their servers. And so, if there are going to be major structural problems, they have 5 days before release day proper,
Right.
and then it becomes like if you're, let me put it this way: if your servers are still fucked on release day proper, what kind of reputation does your game get?
1.0.
Yeah.
Right. So it does provide that. I mean, that's a 5-day window to make sure that you get it right with all of the people that want to connect to your game.
Mm-hmm.
And bam, did they knock it out of the park.
Doing well.
Yeah.
They're doing well. Kudos to you, Square Enix. Show went very positive. The callers were really good.
Got to get a little check-in from E3 with Kuki and Saskia. That was good.
Yup. What else?
Tried to make sure I got in a lot more callers this episode than previous ones because it was basically impressions episode discussion and basically anyone could input anything at any point.
Sure. Were there many people that wanted to call in that we didn't get to?
There was a lot of repeat callers that I had to pass up, unfortunately. Ryoku was one that I wanted to get to but couldn't. Ryuichi.
People we had like last week.
Yeah, a couple of weeks
It's been a while since
Yeah.
Ryoko's been.
Yeah, I told him next time I was going to get him on. So, there was also Angel, but he got on last episode, so I
Yes.
had to pass him up.
Right.
But there was a lot of new callers, which I tried to snag up real quick.
Right.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just wanted to make sure that when we had said okay, we're done with callers, that we were mostly through.
Yeah,
those.
we were mostly.
That's good.
That's good.
Because I always really I always hate going back after we finish a show and looking at the taskbar and seeing
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
people that we didn't get to.
Yeah. By the
So
way, juxtaposition, the drops strike back.
it took a minute. They were
halfway part of the episode,
Yeah.
suddenly the drops
And they started
coming in.
kicking in, right?
Right.
Like I was like, wow, this is really not very drop heavy the first half. And then,
I know. I was trying to find it, but I was also trying to be available to lead the discussion. So
We were more
once we got
dependent on
into
you
the
for some of the
discussion,
talk,
then-
yeah.
That is
then I was able to
that is very
focus back.
But you were on point when you started with them. Like they were good today.
I try to make sure the drops fit well and are great for the part. So
Yeah.
I'd rather err on too few but good ones than too many and bad ones.
But the ones that you did have today, they were very, very well timed, good. I'm gonna try to get some new. I'm gonna try to get a new round of drops. I've got a couple of them picked out in my head already. So,
All right, great.
and I know that there's one that you have requested. There's a few sound effects that you and Kahlo have requested that I
Yeah.
want.
Would announce that right now or no?
If you want.
Yeah, we're actually gonna to make putting callers in a little more easy when we when I have a caller on the line. We're gonna actually play the link shell sound, one that manipulated calls you on the,
Yeah.
and then people will know finish the point, and then we get a caller on the line. So that should make things a little bit more smooth. Hopefully, that's the idea. We'll see how that works out. I'm actually gonna try to find a drop that I want played from Scrubs with JD and Turk doing the Gotta Love thing.
Yes.
For me and Kahlo, so
My
Okay.
favorite TV show.
yeah, it's such a good show. But yeah, more drops are always good. I keep saying this every episode, but I need to take a good hour or so and just organize the drops. Have dicks in the front,
Asses in the back.
asses in the back. We need to find more happy drops or more complimentary drops because I'm we do something hey, good job or whatever. I'm looking for asshole, dick drop. Man,
They're all
also
so
negative.
positive.
yeah, they're all so and I'm huh.
We're always expecting just to rip on each other. Imagine that.
I wonder what that says about me. I mean, I'm the one that chooses the drops. I'm the one that rips all of them. They've been around for a lot longer than Limit Break Radio has. I mean, this is a drop collection that has started. I mean, I've been a radio producer for a long time, going back to high school. Okay, these drops have been around for a long time. Some of them have been around
Like
for
the 1950s, we're talking.
Yes. Remember Duke Nukem drop.
right.
Yeah.
The Duke. Oh my god.
That's got to be what 95-ish.
Yeah. So there's a lot. This collection has grown over time, and so yeah. But actually, it's an interesting thing. One of the things that we're going to be putting some equipment money towards here in the near future is going to be rebuilding the radio computer that we use to fire the drops and that we use to host the Shoutcast stream. And so when we do that, we have to ask the question like, do you want a different drop program, a different soundboard program, or are you satisfied with the 6x6 grid that you have? I mean, we're talking more buttons and
Juxta, you are offering more buttons to Juxta.
the ability to color code buttons, to assign like a color to a button, that would help a lot, right?
Yes.
There's definitely some functionality there that we can work with. Now the other part of that, and the part that we want to ask you at home, we've been using Skype for a long time as our call-in system, but we also understand that it's not necessarily the most secure in terms of internet security. So launching this newer show, that's going to be a consideration. We don't necessarily want people calling in through Skype. We trust the FF14 community pretty well, but this is a whole new show. It sets a new precedent. But if we do that, there's also a good chance that we'll be using a new call-in system outside of Skype for the future. And so we're sort of considering which voiceover service to use at the moment. Discord seems to be a newer one that's a good possibility, but there is also Mumble and Ventrilo and TeamSpeak, which would make calling in a little bit weirder, I think.
Yeah, I don't know how that would work.
So we may be moving to Discord at some point. Not 100% sure, but something to be considerate of in the future. And it seems like building a new case, building a new...
That'd be a good time to start looking into that kind of stuff.
Exactly. And the final thing that I wanted to mention is, because this isn't a gaming PC, it's very bare bones, very cheap.
Oh yeah.
We're not looking
We're
for
not putting together the $1,800 BC.
We're not. No. So in terms of allocation of funds, we're not going to be allocating a ton of your hard-earned money that you give to us. We're not going to be spending a ton of that on that. So, but just in the interest of disclosure, we wanted to let you know that's one of the things that we're looking to do in the future.
So getting back to this episode, I thought, obviously we were planning for a while now, we've been planning the first one ever is going to be the Heaven's Ward discussion.
Right.
Heaven's Ward just goes live for early access a couple of days ago. I was really impressed with how, I think, well put together everyone's thoughts were.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it might be a little bit more jumbled, having only had a couple of days to play, having not slept a whole lot, having worked a ton, having one of us have been sick for most of it. Everyone's thoughts were really well put together, I thought.
And I think we knew that going in, and I think it also provided, this show provided an opportunity that we didn't have with 2.0, or that not all of us had with 2.0, because Juxta, you were fresh, Kala was fresh.
I barely played 1.0.
You barely touched 1.0.
I was level 13 when I came into 2.0, so.
Nika was not there for the first 5 episodes.
Yeah,
so
was he on the first episode?
He was on the first. He was on the first episode.
Okay, but he was just kind of like a guest,
Right.
drop in.
Right. So we didn't have this opportunity to really be able to contextualize a lot of things, with the show that we did in the first go round. A lot of us were still kind of learning at that point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so this was a really cool moment where I think when we all got our hands on Heaven's Word, we were very very mindful of the fact that we were going to have to talk about it and provide opinions about it. and I think we did a very good job. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm really impressed with what you guys had to say, and really looking forward to when I hit 50 on my dark nights.
Yeah, no, you got a roller coaster coming up ahead of you because just like how quickly they jump you into things with Ishgard. Like the very first time I was being sent out to help the two guys, I was like, you know what I smell? I smell bitch work is what I smell.
Yeah.
Because that's what it felt like. And he right away he goes to like assure you, I was like, oh, rest assured I won't abuse having you around. I'm like, you're full of shit, dude. That's exactly what you're gonna do.
You're gonna have me collecting double pelts. I know it.
Double.
But there wasn't a ton of that. Like, for the most part,
that's
you
good.
feel like you're pretty important.
Yeah, and they like tell you that. It's like, hey, I know blah blah blah, and then they're like, you're a great person, and then your character's just like, hey, I do what I do, so I'm gonna go help you. And they're like, cool, thanks. We'll handle the rest. Thanks for that little jump start. Thanks for your support. Thanks for your inspiration to my crummy ass legion of people that don't do shit. But now
Now that you've been here,
Yeah.
we've got it. You're
Yeah.
right. You've shown us the way.
Yeah.
You
I
know
feel
what?
like-
They took a page out of the older Publix book. I feel like, which that game is horrible, and really no one should like. That's the only page you should take out of. But if you played a Sith warrior in the Old Republic, you're already a fairly high-ranking officer in the Sith army, and people are fucking afraid of you. So when you show up somewhere, they're like, "Oh, it's you, and you're here." Oh, I feel awful about even asking you to do anything because you're like my master and shit.
But do you guys get the and I'm totally ignorant, not touching any of the storyline, but do you guys get the sense that like when people notice that you're the warrior of light, they're not just noticing you for felling the primals or killing Bahamut, but they're also noticing you as the murderer of the Sultana.
So it depends on what house they
Oh,
belong to.
Yeah.
I guess there is that illusion in the trailer that Uldah's not talking about what happened.
Right, exactly. No.
Okay,
There's
so,
a
well-
ton of that, but it depends on like what house you talk to.
That would have been cool. That would have been cool. I'm sorry, I made that jump because of what you said about the Sith warrior, but abstract. It would have been cool if that was the case.
Yeah, no. It depends a lot on what house you're talking to. If you're speaking to someone from the house that's brought you in, they freaking love you because Hearts and Farts has been talking you up like no other forever.
Sure.
So they like you. All the other houses are just kind of like, oh yeah, you're here. Heard you did some pretty cool stuff in Eorzea. Shame you're not in those places anymore because I fucking hate you.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, all right, you're a dick. And then a lot of people like you'll go and help someone out and they'll just be like, wow, you really are pretty badass.
Yeah. They know of you, but they like doesn't like hold any water with them. But then
Right.
once you do like a quest or two with them, they're like, this guy's the real deal. He's like actually like an upstanding citizen.
Like from where we're standing, like imagine if like I don't know some guy from China who was like citizen number one in China, everyone fucking loved him, came here to America and was like, hey, it's me, and we'd all be like,
Okay, celebrity guy, sure.
good for you, dude. But then if you came over here and cured cancer, you'd be like, never mind, you're pretty badass as it turns out. Okay. That's kind of what I feel like
I
it's
had
like.
no idea that was an interest of yours, but all right, cool.
I'm just saying, if someone came over here and cured cancer immediately, you'd be
Yeah,
like,
no,
oh, that's-
everyone would know who the fuck he is.
you'd be pretty badass.
Or she.
Or she.
Or she. I don't know. Do you guys have much else to add? I think that's pretty good as all of our end thoughts on.
I just want to say that streaming for 33 hours actually prepped me pretty well for everything that I wanted to say during the show. So
Now obviously you've gotten your stream online, you're doing your stuff. How has the transition been learning to just talk? With whatever comes to mind, just say it and go.
yeah,
It's crazy, isn't it?
yeah, just like yeah.
You catch yourself being quiet for long periods of time, you're like, oh fuck, what do I say? Well, this thought's in my head, it's stupid, I'll say it anyway.
Although past like hour 8, hour 10, at that point I'm just like, must keep streaming.
I got on to take over and I was trying to like log in to take over for you, and I see you on your camera, and you're just like, I'm gonna try and get it right for this camera, like as low on the screen as you could possibly be. Just, like still on, you're just like,
Just like a trooper or something, just like
you were,
yeah, almost.
you were trying to go to bed after almost making it to 24 hours, and he was giving you crap, and I'm sitting there like, wasn't he going when I was waking up this morning?
Yeah. Well, we all were. I took a break. Kala took a break, and
You just cranked on through.
he kept going, and he took his last 4 hours at the
I
end.
took a melatonin and went to sleep around 7:30, 7:15ish. And then I woke up right at like 3 o'clock, and I was like, all right, I'm up. Let's do this.
That's
Gonna
the
play,
time.
gonna play 21 hours of Heaven's War, baby. Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Well, I was very very proud of us as a channel that we were able to make going 24 hours a very real thing.
I liked that. Just like, despite it being early access and everyone knew we'd be playing, we didn't have anything planned for
No,
the early
nothing,
access.
nothing.
We literally just said, you know what? We're gonna treat it like another time at Limit Break Radio. We're gonna be playing. If we're playing anyway, we may as well stream. We're gonna get ready for our episode.
And I think we learned a lot doing this, and I think that this proves that we can plan to do something like that in the future and have a little bit more structure to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And like this, like coming back to this episode and the kind of, I felt like coming here today, I was thinking like, if it wasn't like so recently after we just gone weekly and Heaven's Ward having just come out, would we like postpone this episode? Now I don't think we would. I think we're gonna stick to the weekly thing pretty much every week. Right?
I do think we should. I mean, major holidays excluded.
Sure,
you
yeah.
know,
If it's
like-
Christmas, we're probably not gonna do an episode.
Right.
If
You know,
someone
and
carpet bombs in
well,
Nero's house, we might have to push it back a day.
well, and I mean, like I think being weekly. You can take time off for holidays as well, and it can be 2 weeks, and I don't think people are going to freak out about it.
Yeah.
But the idea being is like, we're trying to be weekly, not weekly when it's convenient to be weekly.
That's true. That's true. And I'm very proud of us as a crew that we were all able to make it. And yeah, even though it was a holiday, and we could have very easily called off and
And no one
It's
would
a
have batted an
holiday.
eye.
right.
No one
and,
would have blinked an eye.
and people would have gone, yeah, that's true. It was a holiday, and
Yeah.
like even if people don't recognize it as a holiday, they would have been like, yeah, you got family obligations and stuff. But no, we were able to push through that and make the commitment, and I'm really really happy.
With some concessions, of course. I mean, we had to push it back 5
Sure.
hours, but
We did. We had to push it back. Nika
But
had to leave early.
in the end, we had a much better show because of it.
I agree.
And that was the point you were trying to make over the chat last night, is if we do it this way though, we'll put out a better product, and at the end of the day, that is what's important.
And
I was pissed about it
especially
at the time, but I was running on 3 hours sleep. When I woke up, I was like, no, that made sense.
especially
Never mind.
especially at this critical juncture. I
Right.
mean, this is the first expansion that 14 has, and if there is a population out there that hasn't gotten early access or is waiting until release date, they're gonna wanna hear what we have to say, and especially with the podcast coming out on Tuesday.
That'd be great timing.
It's
Okay.
it is. It's really
We have
really
to
critical.
like title it something to the effect of like, while you're waiting, since everyone's gonna be trying to get on the server that day, you can listen to that episode while you're waiting.
That's not a bad suggestion. Not a bad suggestion.
By the way, how much did this episode have to kill Callow? He had to say Escalia makes a good point twice in an episode. That had to be brutal.
Speaking of Callow, since his new computer upgrade, his voice over Skype sounds so much
Way
better.
better. Way
It's-
I actually recognized it as Callow.
Yeah.
Way better. And and we did get him that headset, which
Yeah.
the headset sounds.
Makes-
Logitech gaming headsets are really they've got a really nice microphone in there. It's got a great pickup pattern, and if he was gonna say, hey, give me a USB mic, I'd go, no, I don't think you need one. Like
Yeah.
it's that good. So.
So if you guys like Callow, congratulations. You're the reason he was understandable on the show today.
Yeah.
And if you don't like Callow, it's all your fault.
All right, that's gonna do it for our green room video. Thank you very much.
Oh well, one more derail. Let's go talk about. I really like drinking Monster. I've drank like actually no joke. I've drank in 6 of these in the past 3 days.
7 now.
Oh yeah, 7, and they're
When you
Yeah.
start
Come on, Monster, pay us.
when you start eating blood, you can't complain to me.
That's how I've gotten on stream at this point. Every time I do a Jaeger bomb, I just look at the camera like, pay me, Jaeger. Another one down.
Yeah. Maybe they'll notice us.
One
Notice
day.
us, senpais.
Notice me, Jaeger senpai.
Yeah, Jaeger.
Even though every time I drink your product, I say I hate the taste of it unless it's with Red Bull.
yeah, that'd be great.
Well, I mean, it's Jaeger.
Yeah, what do you expect?
Any publicity is better than no publicity, though.
They... Trigger talk.
Marketing,
Trigger talk,
hello.
All right, that's
Oh,
gonna,
and another derail.
that's gonna do it for our green room video. Thank you guys so much. Of course, thank you for your support at our Patreon page, and look for our dog tags are gonna be coming out.
Tags, yeah.
Gonna be sending out soon because I need to get that list from you.
I gave it to you
Oh, you
the next morning, bro. Swear, I can go
And
pull
he
it up
failed.
right now.
To what email?
Huh?
To what? Who'd you?
I sent it to you over. I sent you the link through a Facebook message.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I did it
Wow.
literally the next
This
morning.
week, guys. This week.
This guy.
And
Yeah.
this part's gonna get edited out and just says Aniro gets embarrassed on screen.
Juxta makes him eat his words. For the week.
Aniro eats crow with elevator music.
Oh
All right. Anyway, thank you so much for all your support at our Patreon page, and you know what? Enjoy the rest of early access and Heaven's Word proper. See you guys.